So we're back in our series about user-defined functions, and we'll do a really simple one now. Basically, I want you to double a number. Now, anyone can double a number. I can easily say to you, 2 times 2 equals 4. So you can tell straight away what's happened there. I've basically doubled the number. Or you could say to yourself it really was 2 plus 2, so plus itself, that still doubles it. So there's a few ways of looking at it. Best way to do is to come up with an idea for functions, and I think a good idea is to make a function here, and what I'll do is I'll give it the main code first. So here's my main code where everything all starts. I'll leave space for my functions. There you go. Capitalize if you want, makes no difference. And inside the main code I'm going to come up with some sort of number to double. Now so far with the ones we've used so far, these user-defined functions, we've passed in values from variables. I'm not going to pass a value from a variable in, I'm just going to pass in a number and get it kind of hard coded into it, so not variables, and then come up with some sort of result here. So we have to have some sort of function name, and something that has to equal that function. So let's just call this, let's do it as a float, so let's call it f number. There you go. So f number will hold the result of whatever I do here, and I'll call this double number. There you go, doubling some sort of number here. Now I have to pass a value in a parameter, and I want to double 2. Right, so just 2, I'm saying take 2, double it, bring it back, and show me the answer. Therefore it should come up with, when I look at the output, probably a 4. That's the idea anyway. So let's make this function, put the word def, put the name of the function, I'll call it double number. You have one parameter to get in, so you have to give it some sort of name here. So I'm going to call this fno for the number itself. And basically it says fno is equal to fno. I'll use the multiply version, times 2, that works. And of course I need to return the answer fno. So the idea is that should possibly work and give me back a 4. It's asking me to save it again. So I'm going to call this double. Double's good enough. Double number. There you go. Double number, and save it. So I execute that now, and it tells me 4 straight away. So it's taking the 2, made it a 4. So let's see how powerful this is. A different number. Test it out. Gives you the double of that number. So it's basically a doubler. I'll just keep doubling numbers up and giving us some sort of output. So that's okay, it's a good little start. But you can make this more dynamic. You don't have to double the number. Why not just multiply it by whatever value you decide? So instead of double number, let's just call multiply number, give it a brand new name. Right, so I'm saying multiply a number. I'm going to change the parameters now. I'm going to give it 2 parameters here. F number, and this will be F multiplier. Right, so basically a second parameter here. So I'm saying there's the first number of 2. I want to double it, therefore it's 2. Right, so multiplier here is going to be used as that point there. So it's more algebra. So if I send a 2 in, that's the number, and a 2 in is multiplier, it's 2 times 2 is 4. So it's the same result, as long as there's no typos. There you go. So let's change this. I want to see it times 7. There you go. I want to see it times 100. 200. So by doing that, I've made it a bit more dynamic. It can still double, but it can also triple. 2 times 2 times, yeah, it's tripling up. See, it's 6. Straightforward enough. And just by doing that, I've made it even more powerful than what it was. Again, if I want to make it even more powerful, I could use a bit of code in here to get people to put values in. So enter a number. So I type something in, and I'll come up with some sort of place to keep it. So f number equals, we'll start with int for a laugh, and input, so we're going to have to error trap that at some point. Oh, I've just made it, 2, that makes no sense. I've just realised I left code in. Did I leave code in? Yeah, I left code in there, see it there? I left code in. So f number goes there as well. So you type in something, it goes to f number. So you type in a 2, it's at 2. Sends 2 in, multiplies by 3, gets answer 6, and replaces the original f number with 6. So 2 becomes 6. Run it again. 34 becomes that, which is fine. Then run it again. Pin a float value, crash. Right, now we could turn around and say we don't want it to be an integer. Right, we could do that. We don't want it to be an integer instead. We say, look, don't use int, we can use something else. So let's be smart and go on the internet and do a bit of Google searching. Now Python itself is quite a good language. and we're going to look for, say, convert string to float, and see what pops up. Sometimes you strike it lucky straight away, other times you don't. There you go. So there's int. We've used int a few times. There's other things in there. There's also one that says float there, so let's have a quick look in there to see their examples and see what pieces of code we could maybe use ourselves. And this is the best way of learning a language, is to basically go through it yourself to see what it can do. And then I can see printing string converting to float. It's just by matter of changing the int or str to float. So I'll go back to my code again, find the right one, which I think's about there. There you go. And in here, instead of doing what I did, I'll change that to float. So actually allow float values to work as well as other numbers. So let's see what happens. Test it out. So obviously I type in a number 2, works, and my result's a float value. And then run it again and say 2.3, and there's my result there as well. So it's basically given me the float value. So just by changing it to float, it works with floating points. Of course, I can't do that, so it'll crash out. So the best thing to do with that is to do your usual, let's do a little kind of trace on it, or trace the error. So use try, answer, 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 and of course, we've seen this before, accept, and give them some sort of error message, print numbers only. So that can be meaning float and integer as well. So I'll test it out, put in some rubbish, numbers only. So that worked quite well. So again, you can decide what you want to do. If you want to make it more impressive, you can change the 3 to something else in code. So I could turn around and say something like this. I think I'll put this code up here, by the way, just to make it all make sense. So enter a number, and I'll make them do enter a multiplier as well. So enter a multiplier. Now, I've been using whole numbers for multiplying, but there's no reason why I can't use a float as well. So I can't use f number, I'll call it f multiply. There you go. And then I take that value there, and I say, instead of saying a 3, send that in instead. So if I type in a different number, it uses that number. Let's see what happens. So I'll type in a number of 10.1, multiplier of 2.3. So it basically does maths, it's just in a multiplication. 10.1 times 2.3 is 46.23.